You know, as newsmen, we report these depressing stories all the time. But as members of the human family, we do this with heavy hearts and crippling pain. A lecturer, Sanusi Haliru Kaura, at the Abdul Gusau Polytechnic in Zamfara State, who doubled as the Students' Affairs officer of the institution, has been killed in cold blood by his abductors. This is after a 5 million naira ransom had been paid for his freedom. Now, Kaura is another hapless Nigerian killed by a group of freewheeling murderous gangsters whose bluff we have not been able to call yet. Madam.
It's unfortunate. It's from the story, it was obvious that he had been killed prior to the payment of the ransom. And his case wasn't the first case. I remember a particular case of a man, I can't remember the name right now. He came in from the US for a holiday in Nigeria, in Edo State.
Yeah. And
the same thing happened to him. A ransom of about 10 million was paid. Meanwhile, he had been killed. So, you know, you look at this, it seems like a recurring decimal. The bottom line is, what are we doing to bring a measure of abatement to all of this happening, kidnapping? I'm looking at Zamfara State. I feel so sorry for the governor because, you know, he's been saddled with this issue of insecurity. Every now and then you hear they kidnap this number of persons. We don't know what actually transpired eventually, and they will be released. Some other ones will be killed and all that. So what I'm looking at is, what is the governor doing as the CEO of his state? I would advise that, because if you read some stories, you would get to understand that most of these bandits reside in the forest.
Yeah.
So what are they doing?
They feed from amongst the people. They live their daily life.
Yes.
The people enhance it, which is saying they come to town, mingle with them, and we are still to do anything about it. Their freewheeling attitude.
It's unfortunate because what I see here is a lot of poverty because, you know, these villagers are too scared to make any report. Then, aside poverty, I'm looking at how much of trust do we have for the police? Because, you know, a lot of times you tell yourself, should I make this report? What is going to happen to me eventually? Would someone just, you know, I want to remain anonymous.
Yeah.
But eventually you realize that someone is going to give you away and you get into trouble. So it's a whole lot. And I'm looking at the governor starting by combing the forest.
Don't forget, the governors are known in name as the chief security officers of the state, but they don't control the army, Inca. And so it begs the question of, is it difficult to deal with them?
It's not difficult, but the government is finding it very difficult. I wonder how the president will be feeling at this moment. Why? Just a few days ago, the president told the world, not Nigerians alone, because this was not in a Nigerian newspaper. He told an international medium that Nigeria is safer now than it was in 2015. In all honesty, will the president be able to face his creator and say that Nigeria is safer now than he met it? No. Because, I mean, my heart bleeds every day. In fact, sometimes you don't even, if not because of it is in the line of duty, you don't even want to listen to radio again. You don't want to listen to news. You don't want to read.
You hear the man on the street ask, which day person go hear good news? But interestingly, they say to the journalist, bad news is also good news.
Yes, you know, so it grieves my heart that the president will face the world and say that Nigeria is safer now than how he met it. I mean, now this man, And the kidnappers are completely heartless. Because if you know that you have killed this man,
Why did you?
why not just keep quiet and not talk again about the ransom? But this thing goes on because the government has failed to take action. Look, as I've said it here several times, we come here every day, we sound like Gregor Stock in his group because we say the same thing all over again, and no action is ever taken. There's nobody out there among those who are supposed to take action. In fact, there are some things that it's not good to say here because when you say it, I mean, how can people continue to be kidnapped and be killed day in, day out? And security officials will come out and the president will also come out and tell the world that Nigeria is safer than how he met it. Come on. Let's talk about something else.
I feel sorry for people like you in the media because all these things, you get to report them.
Unfortunately.
Ibn Abo knows she has no choice, but we'll talk about these things. You talked about volunteering information, and it's been a long time coming. The security folks are saying volunteer information, it will receive the information in the strictest of confidence. But that confidence has gone. Even if you give information, how much work are you how much would the information be used? Which is what is irking our brother. Yinka is scandalized. So here, and I imagine you are.
It's so disheartening. You know what I'm thinking? I remember in 2018 or thereabouts, Mr. President came out to say that when they were in the heart of the herders farmers clashes, he said these people were foreigners and all that and all that. And I asked, where are they spirits? They were coming into the country, assuming I want to buy that. They were coming into the country from our border points. So what are we doing? Because I spoke with a woman who is about 80-year-old, and she told me that she lived up north, and she lived close to the border areas in a particular state. And she went back to that state about 3 years ago, and she couldn't really tell the difference between then and now. So that says that not much has been done concerning securing our borders. So I mean, what exactly, just like he said, what exactly have they done? Because this is so scary. You are going out, you just hope that you will go back home safely. That is how terrible insecurity has gotten to. What are they doing? Now, okay, look at, in this same Zamfara State, it was said that about 700,000 people were displaced. Amongst them, we have men, women, children. And, you know, even within the comfort of your home, you are finding it difficult to feed, let alone take care of your family. Now you are living in the IDP camps.
Almost all parts of the north, and I dare say the country, because last week, Kebbi was in the news for the wrongest of reasons. The deputy governor barely escaped with his life, but over 19 members of his security folks were felled by these bandits and so on.
So, you know, what I'm trying to, you know, the picture I'm painting here is, what are we doing? Because these children have been displaced. Their parents cannot take care of them. They go to the roads to fend for themselves. And, you know, children are very vulnerable and they are very impressionable. So these bandits go scouting for these vulnerable children, recruit them back into their sect, and then they, you see, it keeps on like that, like a cycle. How do we break it?
Yinka, these times will continue to try men's souls. The security matter lies at the desk of Mr. President, his commander-in-chief.
The box tops at this table. You see, it was first Zamfara. It got to Kaduna State. And those two states are not free now. It's inching inward.
What about Niger?
It went to Niger, it went to Benue. Now, the southwest that was thought to be safe is being inched into now in Ondo State.
He will be rightly worried. He's a Western Nigeria.
Apart from that, look, the truth of the matter is that when you look at it, they are inching in from the northern flank. They've got almost all the part of the north. They've got into the middle belt by Benue State.
Now, it provokes the question of what do they want? What do they want?
Search me. The thing to be done is, look, this idea of they are foreigners, they are this, they are that, is balderdash. In fact, that's the more reason why they should be curtailed.
Yeah.
Those of us who are old enough in 1979, 83, 84 know about that. The same Major General Muhammadu Buhari was the GOC in Jos. What happened? He chased the Chadian rebels and the Nigerian whatever into their. He was told to come back. He didn't listen. If not because Shagari was overthrown on December 31st, he perhaps would have been court-martialed that he disobeyed the chief of the commander-in-chief. So what has happened between then and now? Why is it that we don't have the same thing? Is it not the same Nigerian military?
Okay.
They are even better equipped now, I suppose, than
all right. Raises
that time.
more questions than answers. Ibn Abba, we must go to our next story. Inka, I'm sorry about that.
I will.
Memory is very unkind to an old man.